Honorable Union S&T Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Principal Scientific Advisor Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST. I would like to request all of you to come on the dais, please. Dear Secretaries from participating ministries and departments, distinguished dignitaries, esteemed guests, scientists, innovators, participants, sponsors, I welcome you all in this valedictory session. The valedictory session of Emerging Science, Technology and Innovation Conclave, ASTIC 2025. Over the last 3 days, this conclave has brought together 13 ministries and departments, thousands of scientists, including young researchers, policy makers, startups, innovators, Weber Fellows, sponsors, and many more. We all are united by one shared vision, which is Viksit Bharat 2047. We now gather to reflect upon the insights, outcomes, and recommendations emerging from 11 thematic technical sessions, each representing a pillar of India's scientific advancement. Advanced materials and manufacturing, artificial intelligence, biomanufacturing, blue economy, digital communications, electronics and semiconductor manufacturing, emerging agricultural technologies, energy, environment and climate, health and medical technologies, quantum science and technology, and space technologies. Each session has produced actionable recommendations that will inform future policy, research, and further collaborations. To open the proceedings, may I request or invite Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, to deliver the welcome address.
Honorable Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, Professor Sood, fellow secretaries from all the 12 participating ministries and the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor, the participants for this ASTIC conclave, which has been a resounding success. First of all, let me express my deep sense of gratitude to not only the organizing team, but all the speakers, panelists, and participants. For the last 3 days, it has been a wonderful experience interacting with all of you. And we have had some very, very insightful talks dealing on various aspects of the science and technology in the 11 thematic areas in which this conclave was organized. And the enthusiasm that was witnessed during all the 3 days is very evident here. We see that even in the concluding sessions, the hall is full. And I'm indeed grateful to you for extending all your support and cooperations. So thank you very much. And as we conclude this and see the outcomes of the 11 thematic sessions, I look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, Professor Ajay Kumar Sood, to kindly share his remarks and reflections on the outcome of ASTIC 2025. Over to you, sir.
Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST, all the participating ministries and departments, their secretaries, their members, Office of PSA members, all the participants from various institutes, academies, and industries. A very, very big congratulations to, in fact, all of you for this very successful event. This is really a wonderful experience, and it has exceeded our expectations from when we started planning it and from the time it has come to this. It has surpassed our expectations, and the credit goes to all of you, all the wonderful speakers, panel discussions, keynote speakers. Each one of you have put more than 150% of what you could do, and this has been a remarkable achievement. And this is where we will really, we have seen confluence of ideas, disciplines and generations from frontier technologies to grassroots innovations, policy frameworks and so on. I will not repeat all that because we have just few minutes to conclude this, but it proves that the vision behind ASTIC, when we build it as a vibrant platform to bring together various stakeholders, is a wonderful platform, and we should really see how do we really take it from here to the next step. All the actionable things which have come up in various 11 themes, and 7 beautiful plenary talks. Really a big round of applause for all the 7 ones. And in the last one, which was icing on the cake, by Shubhanshu Shukla, really energized the entire hall as in the other plenary. And not to mention yesterday's evening, which was again full of energy in the Ricky Cage session, the concert. So I think we will very, very carefully look at your thoughts, suggestions and questions, which I'm sure the people will share briefly now. But more importantly, please give all those suggestions and your insights to us. We will look at that, which you may not be able to say in 3 to 4 minutes, but please share with us, and when we go to the next edition of ASTIC meeting, we will definitely keep in mind. So lots and lots of thanks are due to many, many players, but at the risk of repetition, let me again say, because it never kills anyone to say thank you twice. So let me say my thanks to the leadership, to the Honorable Prime Minister for setting the stage, my thanks to Honorable Minister for guiding us, for thanks to all the 11 ministries who really participated with full energy, thanks to my office where we participated, thanks to ARCI team, the heroes of the thing. They really played a behind the scene role, and that's why we didn't notice them, because everything went smoothly. If it had not gone well, we would have said, where is ARCI? We didn't ask that question, which means they did a good job. So really very big thanks to you. And all the people who have played behind the scene role, lot of volunteers, lot of liaison officers who really are the invisible force, and more importantly, the energy which it has generated and the enthusiasm it has infused in us to really take this agenda forward on a fast time scale. And maybe before 2047, we will have many things to show. Thank you once again for being a part of this wonderful event, and the success of this event really goes to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your motivational words and sharing the reflection of the success of ASTIC 2025. Now we will move for the brief presentations from the chair of all thematic group. I would like to request every chair please conclude or just show the significance recommendations within 3 to 4 minutes. In this series, I would like to invite first Professor R.R. Sonde from the Energy, Environment and Climate. Someone will please put the slide for Professor Sonde.
Good evening to all of you. Very tough task, opening batsman, and 5 minutes to conclude what we did for last 6 months is
Sorry, sir, 3 minutes.
3 minutes. So Honorable Minister, Honorable Secretary, Professor Abhay Karandikar and Professor Sood, the committee that we made, energy, environment and climate, 3 topics are put under one particular umbrella. Our actual challenge was following. How do you meet India's economy of $30 trillion for meeting that what is the kind of energy requirement? We did a lot of number crunching. The committee, and I consulted with almost many experts. I can't vouch that I've touched all the experts in the energy, climate and environment in the last 6 months, but trust me and my team and the DST team, DAE team, Department of Atomic Energy, which is my former alma mater, we did everything. So the number looked like this. The energy requirement will go from a current, whatever, 7,500 terawatt hours to 28,000 terawatt hours, and then the economy will touch about 30. I mean, the numbers are not important, 30 or 35, we don't have to argue, but these are the scales that we are talking about. And at the same time, unlike any developed country which kind of use a cheaper energy, we have to reduce the CO2 emissions from the current level of 2,800 million tons or 2.8 billion tons to 1.2 billion tons. As you can see on the right hand side corner, we have to suck almost 207 gigatons of carbon dioxide from the atmospheric gas. So this is where we started the problem. This is what Professor Abhay Karandikar gave a KPI to me as a chair. Now you look at what we have to solve. What we did was, we did a lot of modeling, a lot of discussion, created our own internal kind of verticals, and that is the summary of what we did. So we decided that the renewable energy and coal will form almost 10,000 terawatt hours. Now, to convert these numbers, renewable number at 10,000 terawatt hours, we consider that out of 40 million hectares, 28 million hectares will be available for solar and wind, and assuming that perovskites and the tandem cells will become prevalent, which will give you about 28% efficiency, that would deliver about 6,000 gigawatts of power. Today we have about 500 gigawatts, it has to take tenfold. Similarly, coal, we said we would need about 10,000 terawatt hours. Terawatt hours, which is difficult for you to understand. It means 2 billion tons. From a current 1 billion tons, it will become 2 billion tons. Biomass will form 10%. Good, because we got, but we should not burn the biomass. We should escalate it to higher level. And then, of course, hydropower, very important. And nuclear will form about 8.9%. So this is the distribution. And the last one is, this is the recommendation. So what we said, India has to follow 9 pathways. The 9 pathways is RE penetration, look at alternate RE, energy storage technologies, circular economy and process optimization, AI/ML based advanced diagnostic and IML tools, biomass to higher values, hydrogen and carrier molecules, that is very important, and then of course faster penetration of e-mobility battery and hydrogen for fuel cells, and precision farming to reduce carbon and water footprints, coal gasification and CCUS, which our Honorable Price has talked about 100 million tons, and we will go, of course, from 100 million tons to 1 billion tons, and nuclear energy. Yeah. And I'm just giving critical technology policy, 1 minute, sir, 30 seconds. Entire value technology has to be developed. So, the captain talked about Indian technology. We cannot depend, somebody else will develop, and then we will mimic them. We need to build the entire value chain, focus on synthesizing materials, software layer adaptation, and industry to fund large programs. Industry has taken leadership. Industry cannot say that it will not do, and ANRF is the best platform. Thank you very much for this kind of a thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So now there is a task from Minister Sir to Chair to complete the recommendations within 3 minutes. So time will reflect on every slide. In this series, I would like to request Shri A. Rajarajan.
Actually, what I'm saying, sorry, Jyoti, I'm saying, please, each one of you just give key point. 3 minutes doesn't mean that you have to speak at relativistic speed, because it has to also convey. My request is just give the bullet points, what came out. I think you can do that. No, this one was, see, usually we speak about, if humanly understandable, 90 words per minute. But this one was about 200 words, but please don't do that. Oh, this was different for different times. Different we kept. So I think my request is, since we have 10 more of them.
If they speak at same speed, they are actually replicating the same speech.
No, that's
So that's not required.
So what we'll do is, please see, again I'll make a request. Please give us a write-up which you are giving, and we would be looking at it, even we would circulate to some people so that there is a consensus building or some critical thinking. But we want some actionable items also. So my request is, it's not that everything you have to say here, because the time is short and we just want to grasp what is the distilled key point which came out. So it's a challenge, but please try. Thank you.
So Shri A. Rajarajan from Space Technologies.
Timer at the bottom, I think if it works. Let's see, is it working?
Good evening.
I mean, they are very polite enough not to switch off the screen after the time. That is normally what happens in the global conferences.
Yes, sir. So, Honorable Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Ji, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. No problem, sir.
And also, since all of us are known for a long time, please don't address us. If you can come to point number 1, it will help. It will save you.
In 3 minutes. Still I will like to address, because I don't get a chance to address. So, Professor Sulsap and Dr. Abhay Karandikar, thank you for the opportunity. So we in space team, we had an excellent and vibrant session, and we had a lot of talk for the last 3 months, and speakers from various forums, from academia, the deep tech, really deep tech, and an woman entrepreneur which I came across, actually an architect, basically an architect who ventured into space technology, getting many technologies from abroad to India, now selling our technology to the nation and putting it building. So actually partnered by a medical doctor and an architect who ventured into space technology. That is what is possible if we put our mind. That's what I want to just put here. And I am very fortunate to come across such people. It's only because of the policy that we are putting forward that people are able to come forward with their own ideas and put it into actions. So what we had is, there should be a specific area of nurturing the deep tech collaborations, really called for, as our Honorable Prime Minister has put in action here, for our Bharati Andheri station by 2035 and mission to moon by 2040. And for this, some of the important things we have put is in additive manufacturing. Really, that is different alloys. We have to use the artificial intelligence to work out new, better alloys. And the space robotics, which is important, and composite and alloys, that's why I put. The reusable launch vehicle is a strategic applications. New materials and energy system, we have to go for 20 kilowatt or 100 kilowatt capability within a small box, and that is what we are working at Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. And we have very large deployable structures, even as large as 100 meters in dia, with a side box, which has to make space habitable in a cocoon way. And some of the important ways that even individuals can start looking at navigation guidance. Then, one of the important, this is the AI infusion into the artificial, for the imagery intelligence that we have to create, which is going to happen in another 3-4 years. Then enhanced delivery of space-based applications for the citizen-centric applications. Definitely, we have to promote the Atmanirbhar Bharat for the technologies that we are going to build within our country, and so that the space startups can leverage their ideas and make it commercially viable and making it a global commercial space activity. That should also be possible within the next 5 years. And next is the emphasis on the whole of government and whole of nation. And that should be the approach. And that can only have a deeper private sector integration for the future space infrastructure. Then some of the collaboration that we have already put, more than 50 in different IITs, NITs and second colleges where many next generation algorithm and AI/ML and autonomous system is possible, and that we are already able to leverage to many industries and establish the center of excellence in many places. One of the important point came out is we have to now emphasize on tapping the strength of the private sector in terms of innovations, the agility,
Sir, your time up.
and the leveraging the space agency into this place. So I should also now conclude that private players should be able to consider investment in R&D and take up on the government initiative so that the design development in other areas also is possible. And these are the outcomes of this space thematic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Now I would like to invite Professor G.U. Kulkarni from Advanced Materials and Manufacturing. Can you please put his slide?
Good evening. It's an honor to speak in front of Honorable Mantriji. So I'm giving a summary of the theme Advanced Materials and Manufacturing. In a way, our session started day before when we heard Sir Andrew Geim give the talk on wonder materials, a very exciting, stimulating talk. But the formal session started this morning, chaired by Dr. Kalai Selvi, DGCSR. In her opening remarks, she mentioned how India has grown with its startup ecosystem under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister. And then on we had, I myself gave an introductory talk on advanced materials, what are to be considered as advanced materials, what are the key parameters and how to translate these materials into products. Following that, we had invited lectures by 3 eminent persons, and 2 of them from industry. One spoke about how additive manufacturing is contributing to aerospace, space technology, and the other one in terms of the products for defense. And we also had a talk by Professor Pradeep from IIT Madras on quantum cluster molecules and how to produce them in large scale. He also mentioned about clean water supply to remote places in the country. Next slide, please. Then we had a panel discussion, and this was chaired by Professor B.S. Murthy, and again we had very eminent personalities on the panel. And though the discussion was very intense, exciting, and around advanced materials and manufacturing, recommendations have been very generic actually. So I'm not really going to spend time into going into each of these details, but we'll be sending our recommendations to the relevant authorities. And I would like to just mention that in a way we have been very intensely involved in the country discussing what should be our roadmap for advanced materials and manufacturing. This activity has been going on, next slide please, for the last 1.5 years, wherein DST actually brought the focus. Professor Abhay Karandikar asked me to come up with a vision document on advanced material research initiative for technology implementation. This is the name we gave actually. And when we surveyed, we have around 5,000 research groups within India, very large ecosystem for doing this particular research activity. And we identified sub-areas and horizontal verticals, all that. We have given a complete roadmap onto what the document would look like. Next slide, please. I think I just summarized here only. So I request Honorable Minister to release the vision document. Can you kindly get some copies here? Rush, please, there's no time.
No, we'll go through.
We'll go through.
He said we will read tonight.
Oh, okay. Need not release now? Okay.
Can
all right.
someone please bring the vision document?
No, we are not doing it now. All right, we'll hand over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Professor Ganesh Ramakrishnan from Artificial Intelligence.
So the thematic area of artificial intelligence had a very focus on AI for social impact. This is also going to act as a warm-up for the India Impact Summit in February. There were 3 major focus areas: core science, its translation, and impact. And that also reflected in the constitution of the committee and the speakers. Now going through this one slide summary, obviously India has planned it out in a very different manner. We have had significant government contribution through 10,000 crore India mission, the 38,000 EGP impaneled. It's important to acknowledge that this has not happened in any other country. Such intense participation from the government, thanks to the India mission. Also, so many other ministries, DST, the Ministry of Education. However, what was really emphasized is there has to be a dialogue between what happens in the government and where we would like the industry to step in. So while we have these GPUs, we need to also make sure that there's cross-pollination in this effort. Obviously, the AI that gets built, the sovereign models get built, and the applications that get panned out must have cultural relevance and data quality. Recipes need to be made available along with models. There were three pillars that were discussed from the government perspective, and that's also in the vision document, Bhashini, which has been an excellent platform, including multiple ministry deployments. BharatJan is India's sovereign AI foundational model ecosystem, and the three centers of excellence, actually now four, healthcare, education, agriculture, and sustainability. Again, with all of these, industry participation needs to be sought significantly because industry also needs to ramp up its investment in AI. The vision is that we weave AI into the social fabric. It has to interpolate very well, and it should not sit like a layer like oil and water. The four broad areas where we thought the focus needs to be in terms of impact are smarter governance, affordable healthcare, personalized education, and sustainable livelihoods. Now, in terms of policy priorities, I already alluded to this, that it has to be inclusive R&D, but what does that really mean? For example, inclusion of local language in multiple modalities, speech, text, vision, obviously, and vision more focus on document models, the importance of being inclusive also in multiple dialects in extremely tribal regions, ensuring that this provenance preserving AI, Dr. Sridhar Vembu made this very important point in this keynote yesterday, that we really need to make sure that the basis that is used for these models is increasingly tractable and explainable. Very important, there are 30 plus capacity and skill building initiatives from the India mission. That needs to again ramp up. On sustainability, all this should be done in such a way that the models become more and more efficient. That again becomes possible through recipe sharing. The last part is we really need to think differently the way our precedents in the form of Aadhaar and UPI have shown. Can we really create that kind of a digital infrastructure for the country in AI? And this requires public-private academic collaboration. Thank you very much. I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Just half a minute. Today morning, India's AI governance framework was released. It is on MIT's website, Office of PSA website. It's a very comprehensive document where the innovation and the safety have been balanced, and you are welcome to look at that. It is a balance that you do not over-regulate, but at the same time be aware of possible issues. So I just thought it's quite relevant to what was discussed, and please have a look at it.
Thank you, Professor Ramakrishnan. Now, Professor Ashwini Parekh from Biomanufacturing.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to mention and bring it to the notice of all the members present in this hall that the session on biomanufacturing has been one of the wonderful sessions, very successful one, and one of the major consensus which has come out from the discussion is listed on the top of the slide. All of us agreed that India is well positioned as a global leader in biomanufacturing by leveraging its rich biodiversity, important pillar, strong academic institutions, and the growing biotech startup ecosystem. The key recommendations are as follows. We need to understand the importance of ecosystem, and we need to establish the pilot and scale-up facilities, the biofoundries, and I'm very happy that Department of Biotechnology is very aggressively following these guidelines to promote public-private partnership model. We need to have infrastructure, capabilities, and capacity. In this regard, we need to understand the importance of investment as shared infrastructure, analytical platform, and develop hubs such as BioHarvest Mohali, we have it in Mohali, and a nodal biomanufacturing centers throughout the country. The importance of skilled and certified workforce also analyzed. We need to put more and more effort to ensure that we have more skilled workforce, and in this case, we would like to recommend that we need to launch a national biomanufacturing skill certification framework, which is considered to be the need of the hour, and the framework and tiered technical and operational training in collaboration with the industry and international expert is required. The fourth recommendation, which was strongly followed by all the members, that there is need to have support for the startup and targeted hand-holding. We need to train the startup specifically who are dealing with biomanufacturing, keeping in mind that this is a futuristic technology. It's required structured mentorship, access to the facilities and funding, focus on early stage validation and market access is required. Number 5 is the standards we are talking about, regulatory frameworks we are talking about, and in this regard, we need to understand the importance of harmonizing the biosafety, the quality, the compliance, the standards associated with that. And of course, the committee came out with a recommendation that we need to have a national biostandard and compliance board, which is going to oversee all the products which are coming out from the biomanufacturing. Number 6 is the fostering of multidisciplinary collaboration. In this regard, we need to integrate biology with engineering, the data science, and create interdisciplinary biomanufacturing consortia. Last but not the least, we need to also understand the importance of accelerating the translation and leading to commercialization. In this regard, we need to simplify the tech transfer, IP framework, because we are dealing with biology, which has inbuilt rules and all that. Also to incentivize academia, industry partnership under the visionary BioE3 framework. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, sir, for compiling in a consolidated way. Now I would like to request Professor Sunil Kumar Singh from Blue Economy.
Good evening, everybody. So, last 6 months, we are working on this theme, Blue Economy, where we are discussing about the sustainable utilization of marine resources. When we are talking about marine resources, there are two kinds of resources, living and non-living resources. As you understand, ocean is very, very important. The half of the oxygen which we are breathing is coming from the ocean, and everything came from the oxygen when 3 billion years before it started from the ocean. Life originated from ocean. So ocean, knowing the importance of ocean, you know how important it is. Actually, this session was proposed, and you know the blue economy, when we were talking about it contributes about today single digit to our national GDP. When we are talking about Viksit Bharat, when we are talking about 35 trillion GDP, I think that time it has to be in double digit coming from this blue economy itself. So there are a lot of things has to be done. And when we are talking about resources, living resources is one of the important factor, then fishery is very, very important. When we are talking about fishery, if you start from the beginning, when it was the beginning in 50s, the 0.7 million ton of the fishery was coming. Today it has increased up to almost 20 million ton. But if you see, the marine fishery has remained constant. When you are talking about blue economy, marine fishery contribution has to be increased. Today, whatever fishery is happening almost about 100-meter depth, we are not going beyond that. So deep sea fishery has to be taken up. Cold chain technology development has to take care in that regard. Similarly, when you are talking about the non-living resources, the mineral and many of the metals are very, very important. When you are talking today about the critical metals, batteries and all, a lot of metals can come from the ocean, and we have to think in this direction. We have identified several locations like the Central Indian Ocean polymetallic nodule, where we have identified 400 million metric ton of polymetallic nodule containing a lot of critical metals like nickel, copper, cobalt, and rare earth elements, platinum group elements. We have to develop technology to extract those minerals. We know 100 million metric ton of those metals are there, but technology is not there. We are working on that. I think technology needs to be developed for that purpose. Similarly, when we are talking about the energy resources, everybody is talking about the carbon capture and all those things. Huge potential in the ocean is there. A lot of energy resources are there. In terms of tide, wave, we are working on the hybrid energy resources. We have to put a lot of energy in this direction. to utilize those things which will take care of our energy requirement. Similarly, when you are talking about our shipping, 90% of the trade in India is happening because of this shipping industry. There again we have to work toward the green shipping, though the carbon footprint is quite low in this regard, but there also a lot of things have to be done. And ultimately, when you are talking about to remove huge amount of carbon which is there in the atmosphere, 2,700 more than that billion ton of carbon, I think ocean has huge potential. 93% of the carbon is going there. I think we need to utilize those in terms of alkalinity enhancement or green carbon or many other things. So I think ocean has a lot of potential to take care of that. Technology development and all those things have to be taken care. So these are some of the recommendations are written here. I'm not going to talk about that. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Professor Kiran Kuchi from Digital Communication.
Thank you. Digital communications includes cellular mobile telephony, 4G, 5G, 6G, AI into the devices, Internet of Things, and it's $1 trillion economy by itself, this technology, and pivotal to the national security. So the green color bullets talk about what's available today. We have 4G deployed, 5G technology is ready at TRL 8, where India is ready to deploy 5G indigenously. Now we're going to talk about 6G, the path forward, the vision for 2030. Today, the OEMs, we have a single vendor who deployed 4G nationwide. We need to expand this base at least to 2 to 3-fold. Multi-vendor diversity is required. This requires intervention by the government and funding and policy. Now, we also have these devices, including cell phones and IoT devices. We need design-led innovation, not just assembly. So this requires substantial investments into silicon, semiconductors, with respect to communication devices. The role of AI is going to be very profound going forward in digital communications, and a lot of investment is required, and we have very specific recommendation towards that. Today, the patents that go and power these devices and networks, thankfully we have about 1% share of the global IPR, the patents, the standards patents. Now we need to look at 10-fold increase. Next slide, please. So BSNL has already deployed 4G and their willingness to deploy indigenous 5G as well as 6G. That's a good sign. And the participants have identified that market access is very, very important. The investment required in this space is around $200 million before you see revenue, any company. So ANRF and other funding measures, have to intervene and, ensure that these 2-3 OEMs are created, both in telecom, network space, as well as, devices space, where India has our own devices that power the smartphones and IoT devices. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So there are some concrete measures suggested. Participate in global standards. It's very critical to controlling the product ecosystem, IP ecosystem, and we're talking about, filing thousands of patents. Each patent may be $1 crore of investment, thousands of crores of investment required, and that needs to be done now. 6G is a fast-moving train. The standards and specifications development have started. By 2030, the products will be rolled out, and we have a plan to do what is called pre-6G, that is before 6G arrives. India should have a playbook to do a 6G launch at a limited scale and before the commercial rollout. And India can do this for the first time before 6G arrives. The technology is deployed. The next slide shows the roadmap. So we've shown some products to be focused, that we have focus, and TRL 8 should be achieved by 2028, where the world is going to launch 6G in 2030. So we must get ready. This requires substantial funding. I think India is primed for this with 4G and 5G success. I think we can get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you for giving a very clear presentation within 3 minutes. So I would like to request Dr. V. Ramagopal from Electronics and Semiconductors Manufacturing.
Thank you. Can go to the next slide now. You can also skip this. Yeah. So I think this is what we have primarily discussed. The new, of course, India semiconductor mission is a huge success. I think better than any other mission probably. A lot of foundries are getting set up now. And I think how to even integrate AI with semiconductors is something some of the speakers have pointed out. Right now, these two are running as two separate missions. I think there is going to be a lot of AI in semiconductors. That's one thing that we need to take up. And scaling up the fabless chip design, because India, every fifth designer in the world today is in India. So now how do we scale it up further? Because that is something that is important. I think chip tape-outs, a lot of institutions are indeed designing chips, but tape-outs cost a lot of money. So now how do we ensure that more and more institutions will get into chip tape-outs so that a lot of hands-on, the silicon experience that our students and faculty will gain. I think that is something we need again as part of the India semiconductor mission. While a lot of focus is happening on silicon and the kind of packaging, but I think the focus is also now needs to be on gallium nitride, silicon carbide kind of technologies where the investments are low, but the impact can be higher, and where the world is also beginning to do things. It's not that these are all very mature technologies. I think there India has a much better chance to succeed and take a lead. The heterogeneous integration is of course important. One thing we have completely missed out in this country is equipment manufacturing. I think we have no missions right now, though there is a DST, a little bit of small activities, but overall we are importing almost every equipment that is required for every sector. I think as a country, everybody believes that we need to start manufacturing our own equipment, not going to happen overnight, but I think that is something where we need to take a lead and make a beginning. And I think we need to continue to scale up from ISM 1.0, which is what is currently happening, to ISM 2.0. I think where we need to see how we can start to compete with the best in the world. And this is where I think everybody thinks that we can be among the top 3 globally in industry relevant R&D by 2036. While in research we seem to be doing well, but I think academia and industry are completely in silos right now. I think many national missions probably are required to bring industry and academia together. Top 2 globally in terms of industry relevant R&D workforce, I think that can happen, given India's strengths. Top 2 globally in skilled technical workforce by 2036. Top 3 globally in aggregate startup valuation. I think these are all achievable goals, and I think if we all put our minds and hands together, I think this is something that can be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for highlighting the need of an R, which is equipment manufacturing, and definitely our new RDI scheme will help to fill this gap. So next I would like to request Dr. M.L. Judge, Secretary DARE and DGICR for Emerging Agricultural Technologies.
Thank you. Good evening. Can you go to the next slide, please? So for agriculture, I think there is a lot to do. I will try to summarize in these bullets. And the first one is, though we have all the successes, but I think we are encountering with the emerging global mega trends. And in that context, we have to transition from the silos to the system. For sustainability and also having synergies with the society, that means we need a whole of system, that means whole of agri-food system and whole of society approach. That means integration of the multiple departments and ministries. The second one is advancing the omics research and the systems or synthetic biology for the next generation agriculture, with a focus on the nutrition and health, and that's what something very, very important. The third one is on precision agriculture, mechanization and automation, with a focus on the smallholder farmers, marginal farmers. The fourth one is on the digital and data-driven agriculture for strengthening the local food systems, and more particularly on focus to how to harness the agro-biodiversity using the digital and data-driven technologies. The next one is on the green energy farming and their whole value chain, including the storage. The integrated agri-tech innovation ecosystem and capacity development platform, having the public, private, startups and all the players at a single platform. We have to create the ethical, legal, social safeguards for synthetic biology and the data system. That's another important aspect. But I think when we talk about transitioning from the silos to the system, we need a dedicated sustainable food system fund. And the last one is the Center of Excellence for Omics, Agriculture, Robotics and Artificial Intelligence. These are some of the points because we just concluded the session, but we will send the detailed recommendation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for summarizing all these points. Now I would like to request Dr. Sanjay Bihari for Health and Medical Technologies.
It's an honor and privilege for me to be here. First of all, I'd like to divide them into PEEP. Policy includes a centralized portal for Government of India funding, translated devices, institutional core competence, timely information dissemination of Government of India policy changes, initiatives, and research and rehabilitation. Then medical device parks for institution industry collaboration, outcome-focused metrics, clinical impact, economic impact, social impact. For example, national awards only for commercialized products. Focus on devices, methodologies for prevention and early disease detection. That's not something being done. And industry approaches entrepreneurs for problem-based solution device co-development. In terms of entrepreneurship, major institutional incubation centers handhold or scale up affiliated college entrepreneurs, permitting allopathic and Ayush doctors, ICMR scientists to form Section 8 companies, digital health biomaterials to be integrated part of the incubator exposure, and website for angel investors, venture capitalists, and CSR fund-giving industries to seek entrepreneurs at reasonable TRL level for device marketing. In enterprise, we recommend having countrywide testing centers with special focus on specific devices, facilitating expeditious statutory product approval, especially biological products and products with prolonged body contact on which takes a very long time, facilitating computer simulation or modulation with decreased emphasis on animal testing. I don't think we need so much of animal testing now. And properly organizing industry, scientists, medical device clinical trials. We hardly have any clinical trials which is being conducted for medical devices. In terms of education, we need medical device, intellectual property, incubation cells, patent funding in every medical and technical institution of the country. We need under new education policy, dual degree programs, for example, health with technology and allopathy with Ayush. We've done it for Sri Chitra, where we have technology, PhD in technology and as in medicine. Give STEM institutions freedom to hire adjunct professors in diverse fields, including STEM, humanities, language, law, finance, industry, Ayush, and compulsory policy of immersion of students in industry. Finally, in personal development, we request for entrepreneurship, business, and skill learning processes, hospitals, small-scale pilots to evaluate usability, interoperability, and impact on patient pathways, training in design, regulatory designs, and risk management, blended finance combining government grants, industry contributions, and philanthropic support to share risk, and finally, equity in access, prioritizing affordable solutions, designs for diverse population, and especially for marginalized communities. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for summarize all these points, especially to highlight that we don't need for animal testing no more. Thank you very much. So now, last but not the least, I would like to request Professor Urvashi Sinha for Quantum Science and Technology.
Good evening, dignitaries on and off dais. Being the last speaker, that too in quantum, I was uncertain if I would get the opportunity to speak. So thank you very much for this opportunity. It's the last topic, but it's definitely not the least. Quantum is something that is perhaps going to revolutionize all the sectors we have heard about so far. So our excitement is even more. I don't know if this works. So next slide, please. Our excitement is even more because of the National Quantum Mission, which is now underway in full swing with all 4 hubs operational. Next slide. And what we spent a lot of time discussing yesterday, it'll be good to go to the next slide. Yeah, was, where we are in all these technologies today and what we would like to do as we go ahead over the next few years. So in quantum computing, we are at a stage where we have academic prototypes in 2 to 4 superconducting qubits. We also have early cloud access 6-qubit demos. Industry is doing very well. What we are doing in academia is focusing on robustness of the qubits and getting better numbers for fidelities, whereas industry is picking this up and trying to increase the numbers. We have a 25-qubit QPU already. Over the next few years, we are going to, go on to have 1,000 qubits over the next 5 years, and essentially ensure that we build technology which we can actually justify. So we will have robust numbers, we will have spec sheets which, anybody can verify. In quantum communications, we are, of course, doing very well. We already have fiber QKD pilots greater than 300 kilometers. We also have excellent examples of foundations to experimental POC to validation of a completely made in India product in semi-device independent QRNG, and also standards and certification. Our aspirations would be to just scale the numbers as we speak and take all this to product level, repeaters, memories, very hard problem, perhaps the hardest problem in NQM as we discussed yesterday, because there is no global company which is making any of this at the moment. Next, in sensing and metrology, we are doing rather well. We have lots of lab prototypes for magnetometers, NV, and atomic things. We have optical clocks which are coming up. Aspiration, yes, we want to increase the TRLs literally over the next few years and have scaled sector pilots. Next, in quantum materials, I would say it is not really a vertical, it's a horizontal, because it is feeding all the verticals of quantum technologies. Our problem right now is supply chain dependence for cryo parts, optics, specialty gases. Going forward, we want to become what we all want to become, which is Atmanirbhar in quantum materials. We want to ensure that we don't have to depend on importing these things, because then our developments will just be faster. Going forward, last slide. I actually put a very small last slide. What do we want to do? What is the way forward? We want to do many things, but we don't want to tell you here. We'll present a report to the dignitaries because, we were told to cut down the time. But what we want to do is to ensure that we have trustworthy quantum. We just don't want to chase numbers blindly. We want spec sheets with performance metrics. We also prioritize fundamental research because that will make us the leaders going forward. And finally, we will make in India for the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we all witnessed the success of all 11 thematic sessions. We received lots of positive feedback about the speakers, plenary sessions, panelists. So a round of applause for all our 11 thematic sessions. Thank you all our thematic chair, all thematic members for those insightful summaries and for all your tireless efforts over the past 4 months. Preparing the vision documents, the coffee table book, which were launched by the Honorable Prime Minister Ji, and curating sessions with the support of our reporters, our conveners, member secretaries from the participating ministries, and the ARCI licensing officers. Now may I request member secretaries and conveners of all thematic groups to submit a comprehensive report of each thematic session by 10th of November to STIC Secretariat. Now we come one of the most heartwarming moment of STIC 2025, the poster presentation award and the showcase of startups. As you all know, there were 30 deep tech startups which displayed near adjacent hall, and they all were amazing. So I would like to convey this to our Honorable Minister, sir, that the startup session also organized a vibrant display of innovation and enterprise at PitchX. So over 20 pioneering startups pitched cutting-edge technologies before the distinguished investors. Investors were from Peak XY, Your Nest, Fast India, IMA Ventures, and Silver Needle Ventures. The event reflected India's growing momentum in deep tech entrepreneurship and its vision to translate scientific research into scalable market solutions. Some of them like Endure Air System, Atria Innovations, LifeSpark Technologies, Nocart Robotics, and 42 Labs. These were the few which emerged as highly investable startups. The conclave also spotlighted women entrepreneurs, symbolizing India's inclusive approach to technology-led enterprise. With this, I would like to move for the poster presenters. So in this conclave, we received over 800 entries from our young researchers who are under 35 years of age. On this occasion, out of 800 entries, the best 84 posters were displayed in this conclave, and out of 84, we selected 5 best posters. So I would like to request all these best 5 posters presenters to come on the stage. Out of 5, the 3 were received the Outstanding Award and 2 received the Commendable Award. The 3 are Dr. Subhashish Prusti from Institute of Life Sciences, Bhubaneswar, Dr. Nandini Goyal from Punjab University, Chandigarh, Dr. Sneha Kivach from University of Delhi, Dr. Athira from AICI Hyderabad, Ms. Abida from AMU Aligarh Muslim University. I would like to request jury and the poster committee chair, Dr. Mohanty and Dr. Poonam Yadav, and if jury is also available, they can also come on the stage and please join and encourage and appreciate our poster awardees. A round of applause for all our poster awardees because they are young and they really need motivation from all of you. These are our young scientists who can shine in the next future. I will again take their names. Dr. Subhashish Prusti from Health and Medical Technology, Dr. Nandini Goyal from Emerging Agricultural Technology, Dr. Sneha Kivach from Energy, Environment and Climate, Dr. Athira from Advanced Materials and Manufacturing. Can you please give a round of applause to our young researchers? Ms. Abida from Electronics and Semiconductors and Manufacturing. Those who are not receiving these certificates or like these trophies, don't think their posters were not good. They were good, but you know, out of 84, there were some, we have to choose some to encourage all of you. But I am pleased to inform that other poster presenters that will also get the participation certificates, and these can be downloaded through the ASTIC 2025 mobile app using their registered credentials. So once again, a round of applause for all our poster presenters. Now it is my honor to invite the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, whose leadership and vision continue to inspire India's scientific community. You all can see that since the last 3 days, Sir is giving a lot of time for this conclave. This reflects the success of this conclave and the seriousness of our government for science and technology. A big round of applause for the Minister, Sir.
Thank you. Principal Scientific Advisor, Professor Sood, Secretary DST, Professor Abhay. I can see some of the seniors over here. Professor Ravi Chandran is there, Dr. Vail is there, Dr. Rajesh Gokhale, Dr. Kamath, Dr. Cesar Bode, all the members of the fraternity, young participants, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's very heartening to see such a huge crowd in a valedictory, which usually doesn't happen. Because having been in this seminar circuit and the conference circuit for more than 3 decades. I think ultimately what we were constrained to do about a few years back, at least in the middle conferences, that we started holding our inauguration session just before the banquet. Because otherwise people would attend the opening session and then finally it would be difficult to find sufficient number of them, or they would come just for their own sessions and their own presentations. So you would have the chairperson, the co-chairperson, the presenter, and maybe his friends or his family members or his followers. So finally some of the youngsters decided that because all of them that they go around doing sightseeing, all kind of shopping around, and then make sure that they are at time for the banquet, because many of the conferences they also pay for the banquet. So, but that I think is the spontaneity, which is actually the spirit, reflecting the spirit of this conference and the kind of energy that it has generated. So it's a matter of great pride and great optimism, and it gives a sense of satisfaction. And I think also because we had involved a lot of young stakeholders. Usually when we have an academic event which involves mostly the senior faculty, that is the kind of scenario that maybe I was talking about. When you have the youngsters who have a lot of stakes from such meets, they look for networking, they look for finding new connections, and some of these youngsters may be coming there also to find prospective handholders or prospective industry partners to sustain their work or sustain the kind of venture they have stepped in. And the kind of priority that this government gives is reflective of the fact that Prime Minister was in the midst of a very hectic campaign. He spared exactly 60 minutes for us, and the instruction was, as Principal Scientific Advisor bailed me out, that he will be there only from 9:30 to 10:30. But I'm glad the organizers were so discreet that we could conclude the first session in just 55 minutes exactly. So when the Prime Minister walked in, it was 10:25, not even 10:30. And the Prime Minister also very thoughtfully touched upon all those areas that you have heard some of these presenters just before me. He spoke about biofortified crops, the nutritional security, personalized medicine, clean energy, biofertilizers, all those new areas that we have ventured into through different departments and through different ministries of science in this government. And I think I also have to compliment all the scientific program, very diligently prepared by the Principal Scientific Advisor and his team, because he's taken a lot of pains. And I'm sure next year we'll have more of time, we'll have more of Nobel laureates, because a conference like this, a conclave like this, at least takes 1 year to start with, because you have to send correspondence, you get confirmations, and you do bookings, both the travel bookings, the boarding, lodging, etc., and also some of the clearances in case of the foreign faculty. And yesterday's Vaibhav was also a very, because I found a lot of energy in those Vaibhav fellows, which went beyond the academics and went beyond the science. So they were actually looking forward to be utilized in the best possible manner their motherland could. And I think that gives us a cue to devise something more for them, to use them in a more structured way. And of course, as it's already been said, it was a beautiful personification of whole of government plus whole of nation happening, and a beautiful synergy between research, academia. And it was also an opportunity to showcase that all of us have been doing in different streams of science, research, innovation, as was presented to you in these brief sum-ups. Just 2 or 3 small suggestions that I have made to the Principal Scientific Advisor. If he finds it appropriate, we could carry on with that. Next time, I think we'll have to do a small workshop for maybe virtual, for the potential poster presenters, because most of the poster presenter boys and girls are new entrants into this area of conference circuit. So they don't actually know. So sometimes they are not very sure how best to present what they wish to present. Sometimes they also have an urge to be noticed, when you are new, like we all started. You want your poster to be noticed. So you want to speak more, write more, which is not actually compatible with the modern realms of academics. So poster must have few bullet points. So most of the posters were very crowded. I mean, at the risk of not discouraging these boys, young girls and boys, I think it's not their fault. We would have to, because they are the new entrants, new initiators into the world of conference presentations. So we would, in fact, many years back, we even started, because I was then on the advisory of one of the Australian academic agencies. So we would do negative marking for the slides. So 7 slides, it was more than that, and then we would decide upon the awards. And I'm talking of way back 1997, because that trend was yet to come to India. Now, of course, we are part of the global. So we have to actually make them so that how they make good presenters and evolve from one level to the other. The other was that yesterday we had a lot of enthusiasm among the youngsters, because they were looking for the investors, and investors also had come looking for some kind of a business, because to be very realistic, they don't come here to waste their time because trying to understand what you are doing academically. They are just looking for some more business. So we could have an institutionalized manner, if not exactly B2B, but we could actually structure a connect between, and we could beforehand, since we always have access to the list of the startups who have offered to make their presentations or put up their stalls or to be participants in this conclave of 3 days. And then we also have the list of the corresponding list of the investors. So we could actually match and see where one fits, something like possibly what WIRAC is doing in a bigger way, or what InSpace is doing, we could do for these. And then we could suggest to them, look here, you could meet so-and-so over there, you could meet so-and-so, we could have a small session, or we could just give them the cues and they could do the informal fellowship during the lunch hour or over the banquet. And the third, of course, which is sometimes followed in some of the conferences, instead of asking all the 11 thematic leaders to come here and speak, what happens is that if suppose I'm the thematic leader, even if you give me 3 minutes, I'm possessive about my talk. I want the world to know what I have done, and I want the world to appreciate, rightly or wrongly, because it's my baby. So I tend to repeat what I have said. So you can't grudge me, you can't grudge these gentlemen. So another option, or the pattern which is adopted in the conference, is that you have a single reporter who does this, who belongs to none of those 11 themes, but he's a science-knowing person, he's a good communicator, so he does these sounds. So 3, 4 things, because this is our maiden experience, and I'm sure when we are into STIC 26, we would have evolved even as organizers, and I think we would be going to the next level with each of our experiences. So thank you very much. Since everybody was given 3 minutes, I should not be taking long.
थैंक यू सो मच सर. सो अब इसके साथ हम पहुंच चुके हैं अपने इस आखिरी पड़ाव पर. दो आई विल से दिस इज द एंड ऑफ दिस कॉन्क्लेव बट a beginning of new roadmap. With this, I would like to invite the STIC core committee members, all secretaries from our participating ministries and departments, and all who are deeply involved in the preparation of and to make a success of this STIC 2025 for a photograph with Honorable Minister. Whenever you are gathering here on the stage, I will take an opportunity to quickly thank everyone to make this event a successful grand success. सबसे पहले मैं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी नरेंद्र मोदी जी का हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करती हूँ for gracing the inaugural session of STIC 2025 and for his visionary guidance that continues to inspire our scientific community. मेरा विशेष आभार माननीय डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी का. Sir, your active presence throughout these 3 days has been a source of motivation, inspiration for all of us. Thank you, sir. My sincere thanks to Dr. Ajay Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, for his continuous guidance. My sincere thanks to Professor Abhay Karandikar, Secretary DST. My gratitude to partner ministries, their leadership, Director General, Secretaries, dignitaries, plenary speakers from India and abroad, thematic chairs, panelists, nodal officers, scientific institutions, startups, industry, partner, young innovators, and our friends from the press and digital media for their contribution to make it grand success. A special word of gratitude to our sponsors for their valuable support and promoting the science.